Since their presidential pardon, Todd and Julie Chrisley of Chrisley Knows Best fame have been sharing quite a few stories. In addition, videos of their lives and what they've shared have also started to resurface. Recently, fans have drawn their attention to a video where Todd shares where he stands with one family member in particular. Todd Chrisley originally became known to audiences through USA Network's Chrisley Knows Best, which originally ran from 2014 to 2023. In 2022, Todd and his wife, Julie, were convicted over a variety of charges, including bank fraud and tax evasion. However, the two were released back in May thanks to a presidential pardon. Since then, Todd and Julie have shared their side of the story with various outlets, including their own podcast. In his personal life, Todd shares 3 children with Julie: Grayson, Chase, and Savannah. Todd also has 2 children from his previous marriage to Teresa Terry, Lindsay, and Kyle. As mentioned, while Todd and Julie have shared new revelations since their imprisonment, previous videos the family have released, even before the presidential pardon, are also starting to draw attention. Taking to social media, one video that has recently caught fan attention was one involving Todd talking about his son Kyle while working on Chrisley Knows Best. Todd appeared to be answering questions from fans during a live stream with the video. At the time, he addressed that Kyle will not be back on the show. He will not be back on the show at all with Chrisley Knows Best. Todd assured, "I love Kyle dearly. I wish him nothing but the best, and I hope that he's getting his life straightened out. But at some point, you just have to say whether or not you're good for each other. And I think with the things that Kyle has done, and the things that he's, fabricated about his family just to sell a story to a tabloid, that's probably more than what any of us can kind of get past right at the moment." However, at the time, Todd mused on the concept of forgiveness, saying, "But you know what? With God's will, time has a way of tempering all things, and that is certainly my prayer, that at some point, Kyle will come to peace with his family, and we can all move forward. We don't approve of the company Kyle keeps, and so, as long as that's involved, we can't invite that back into our lives." Todd then mused, as a reality television personality, people have a right to ask questions about his life and his family. However, he also noted that fans don't necessarily have the right to have these questions answered. During the original run of Chrisley Knows Best, Kyle mostly appeared in the first season, though he made an appearance in the 8th season. As fans know, Kyle previously expressed, "I'm going to remain hopeful that another reconciliation is possible," concerning him and his father during the time of his parents' presidential pardon, in a statement with E! News. Last year, Kyle previously shared with In Touch that he hadn't spoken with his father in over a year. He shared, "I don't really know why, but he hasn't responded to my emails and he doesn't call. I was actually going to attend the hearing, but I was told my dad did not want me there. I believe someone even said they would have me escorted out if I showed up." Have you been following this story? Did you see this video with Todd Chrisley? Make sure to come back to TV Shows Ace for all the latest reality TV and celebrity news. In a Resurfaced video, which includes no spoken words, Todd Chrisley's facial expressions, body language, and carefully chosen gestures speak volumes. It offers a poignant window into his reaction to betrayal by his son Kyle, illustrating emotions ranging from heartbreak to resolve. Though mute, this footage resonates with unsaid words and unspoken meaning. A framed silence. The video opens in a subdued setting, soft lighting, neutral tones, and Todd seated in quiet contemplation. Without dialogue, each subtle shift, his eyes flickering, hands clasping lightly, jaw setting, reveals inner turmoil. Thus, the silence becomes a powerful medium for expression too. Emotional tension in motion. Initially, Todd's posture is reflective. Head inclined downward, shoulders relaxed. Yet tension builds. Fingers fidget, his gaze becomes distant. At one moment, he glances toward the camera, eyes narrowing, simultaneously questioning and assessing. Without a single spoken sentence, his internal struggle is laid bare. 3. A moment of vulnerability, perhaps the most revealing frame, shows Todd exhaling deeply, his clenched wrists relaxing. An unspoken surrender. His body language conveys the weight of disappointment, the complexity of paternal expectations, and the ache of perceived betrayal. For pain meets forgiveness later, the scene subtly shifts. Todd lifts his chin, shoulders straighten, and his eyes glance upward, as if searching for grace. There's tension, yes, but a fleeting smile, barely there, signals a shift from despair toward acceptance, or at least willingness to move forward. 5. Context behind the frame. This silent video comes within a larger tumult in Todd Chrisley's life. In 2022, he and his wife Julie were convicted of tax evasion and bank fraud, facing 12 and 7-year sentences respectively. Though Todd maintains his innocence, he served 2.5 years before being pardoned in May 2025 by former President Donald Trump. Wikipedia. The Jasmine Brand, the family's new lifetime docuseries, The Chrisleys. Back to Reality premieres September 1-2, offering viewers an inside look at the emotional fallout, including the rift with Lindsay Chrisley, who allegedly wrote a letter to the FBI that played a role in the legal case. EW.com, People.com, The Bullet. Kyle Chrisley, Todd's estranged son from a prior marriage, allegedly provided information to authorities, further fracturing the family. Yet in a heartfelt public statement, Todd reaffirmed his love and hope for Kyle's redemption. "I will always love you to the moon and back, son. Your past doesn't define your future." News.amamama.com. 6. Legacy Oscillant Strength. This resurfaced footage encapsulates a deeply human moment, grief and resilience. Todd's stoic composure reflects the grace he still maintains, despite betrayal, faith, and forgiveness. His lift of the gaze hints at spiritual grounding and possible reconciliation. A testimony without words. In the Chrisley world, full of public drama and bold statements, this video quietly asserts that actions, or the lack of speech, can often be more revealing than declarations. 7. Wide and matters visual emotive storytelling. Even in the absence of speech, Todd communicates a story of familial fracturing and internal turmoil. Transparency through subtlety. The emotional honesty of his expressions defies overproduced television narratives. Contrast to media persona. Viewers familiar with Chrisley's trademark wit and volume are surprised by this softer moment, hastening its impact. 8. Looking ahead. Chrisley's Back to Reality is likely to explore this footage in context, showing preceding and subsequent interactions, including dialogue from other family members. EW.com, People.com. It may reveal whether reconciliation with Kyle is possible, or if that silence remains the space where their relationship ends. Todd's public narrative consistently emphasizes faith, redemption, and family unity. Reconciliation lies at the core of that worldview, yet the video's tone leaves uncertainty in its silence. 9. Reflection on the silent moment. If this clip could speak, its message might be: I feel pain, yet I remain. I forgive, even if you've not asked. My love doesn't vanish, even when trust is broken. It's not a moment of theatrics, but of raw humanity. 10. Conclusion. Todd Chrisley may not be speaking directly in the video, and yet, in choosing stillness and body language over a scripted message, he offers a candid glimpse into his heart. The expression of disappointment, tempered with quiet grace, suggests a father grappling with both loss and hope. As the Chrisley family story continues to evolve, this frame of silence stands as a testament. Authenticity doesn't always need words. In a broader sense, this unspoken moment reminds us that forgiveness, resilience, and emotional truth often lie beyond public statements and media spin. When the screens go dark, grief remains, and nuanced expression can be the most powerful truth told. A resurfaced mute video captures Todd Chrisley's raw emotional response to his son Kyle's betrayal. Without words, his posture and expressions communicate grief, forgiveness, and resilience. This imagery gains context within the family's legal scandals, estrangements, and upcoming docuseries. It reveals a deeply human moment where silence speaks louder than any scripted statement.